My child, my beloved, do not ignore this voice. Archangel Michael stands before you right now. Not as a distant symbol, but as a present force. His presence is sharp, alert, and focused on your future. This moment is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. Something unseen is already moving toward your life, carrying light and truth together. It holds the power to break patterns that have followed you for years. Heaven's door is open now, and timing matters. When awareness meets obedience, destiny responds. There is a reason this message reached you today. Heaven does not waste words or moments. Archangel Michael whispers that something unexpected is already in motion toward your home, toward your life. Not chaos, but alignment. Let these words settle slowly. Let them reach deeper than logic. What you feel stirring is not imagination. It is memory. A reminder placed in your spirit before you were born. That gentle pressure in your chest, the quiet pull you can't explain, is not random. It is recognition. Someone who has crossed into eternity is near in spirit, urging you to listen fully. Their concern is not fear-driven, it is purposeful. They know what is approaching. They know what has been delayed is now close. This message was written into today long before you arrived here. Archangel Michael says that many voices have surrounded you, trying to distort your sight. Opinions, doubts, distractions, and noise all competing for your attention. But one voice cuts through them all. The divine voice does not shout, it steadies. It calls you chosen. It invites you to remain present because what follows brings understanding that reshapes everything you thought you knew about your journey. The pull you feel is not emotional manipulation. It is spiritual gravity. Heaven is drawing you closer because a cycle is closing. Archangel Michael says that the struggle around you has been intense, but it is nearing completion. Crowns are not stolen by storms, they are revealed after them. This is why you are asked to stay attentive until the end. Some revelations only arrive when patience has finished its work. You have walked through unseen storms. Quiet nights of confusion. Moments where support vanished and silence felt heavy. But heaven was never absent. Angels recorded every tear, every unspoken prayer, every time you held on when letting go would have been easier. Today, your name is echoing in places you cannot yet see. That is why this message found you. Archangel Michael declares that what has been dispatched is already moving with precision. Not everyone will recognize it when it arrives, but those who are attentive will. Reception requires openness. Listening fully prepares the heart to recognize delivery when it comes. This is not about fear. It is about readiness. There are people who watched you struggle and assumed that was your ending. Some spoke against you quietly. Others celebrated your delay. But heaven already signed your restoration. Their assumptions do not alter divine decisions. Archangel Michael stands on your path now, and the atmosphere around you is shifting. What once felt heavy is about to lift. That chill you feel is not fear. It is confirmation. Truth has weight. Your spirit recognizes it before your mind catches up. Archangel Michael says that those who pushed you down will soon witness your rise. Opposition loses its strength when exposure arrives. But before visible breakthrough, clarity comes. Something hidden within your circle will surface, not to harm you, but to free you. Do not treat this as ordinary. Heaven marks moments like this quietly but firmly. You will notice signs soon, subtle but precise. A name, a number, a conversation that confirms what your spirit already knows. These are not coincidences. They are signals designed to guide you forward. Someone who loved you deeply and passed on has been interceding for you. They have seen the betrayals, the misunderstandings, the moments you nearly gave up. Their presence now is reassurance. They urge you to remain steady, to not disengage when clarity is forming. What is unlocking belongs to you. The atmosphere is shifting. Archangel Michael says you were never forgotten, never abandoned. Those who underestimated you are about to witness strength they cannot explain. Your next chapter is not opening quietly. It is unfolding with momentum. The first sign will arrive sooner than expected. You may have felt insignificant at times, like one voice among many. But heaven does not count the way the world counts. Heaven calls by name. Your name is known. It is guarded. It is protected. Archangel Michael stands watch over the destiny you thought had been shattered. You are not at an ending. You are standing at a threshold. What comes next will surprise you and silence doubt. That gentle inner voice you hear now is confirmation. Archangel Michael says the restraints around your life are breaking. Walls built by jealousy, envy, and betrayal are collapsing. Words spoken against you have lost their authority. Mark this moment. It is not accidental. It is alignment. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. There are no coincidences in the realm of the spirit, and the fact that you are still here proves this moment was arranged. Your eyes did not land on these words by chance. The trembling in your heart, the mix of fear and hope rising together, is evidence that you have stepped into a divine appointment. Something has been waiting for you, and awareness is the doorway. Stay until the end, because clarity does not arrive halfway. By the final words, what you have been asking for will no longer feel distant. The delay you experienced was never abandonment, it was alignment preparing to move. The heavens are shifting now. Even the unseen currents are being rearranged to carry what belongs to you. Yet before release becomes visible, there is one final refinement. Archangel Michael whispers, the secret will be exposed before the blessing is revealed. This exposure is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to free you. Truth clears space for trust. A hidden truth within your circle is coming to the surface, and though it may sting, it will heal. It will reveal who stood with you genuinely and who only pretended. It will answer questions you carried quietly and explain why timing unfolded the way it did. God does not place new treasure into unclean hands. What felt like delay was protection shaping the moment. That stirring you feel, the chill across your skin, is recognition, not fear. Your spirit understands truth before your mind can organize it. Chains formed from jealousy, envy, and betrayal are being identified and broken. Words spoken against you carried intention, but they redirected power back toward heaven's purpose. Mark this moment. It is not accidental. There truly are no coincidences here, only confirmations layered in precision. Your presence in this moment is proof that you are chosen and marked. Stay attentive, because endurance brings vision. The breakthrough you waited for is approaching, and the winds are already moving to deliver it. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not distant, but actively guarding the process. His sword is drawn, his shield lifted. What tried to stop you no longer holds authority. This is not an ending. It is a beginning unfolding with intention. The sign you asked for will appear in the coming days, and it will confirm what your spirit already knows. Listen carefully, because this moment carries weight beyond ordinary understanding. Your eyes meeting these words is itself a signal. Archangel Michael stands firm, declaring that your destiny remains intact. Your future was never erased. Your name was never forgotten. Heaven recorded every tear you shed when support disappeared and answers felt absent. The scroll of your life is being opened again, not to revisit pain, but to restore what was taken. A surprise is moving toward your home, not formed by chance or human effort, but released with purpose. It carries healing, restoration, and light. What was stolen is being returned with intention. The final resistance often speaks loudest just before release. The enemy tried to convince you that nothing would change, that prayers were empty and faith ineffective. This is the last deception before breakthrough. Do not agree with it. Stay present. Distraction is the only tool left to delay recognition. Archangel Michael declares that openness changes outcomes. When the heart opens, restraints lose strength. What held you snaps because it no longer has permission to remain. The atmosphere around you has already shifted, even if your senses are still adjusting. Understand that the battle around you has been ongoing longer than you realized. Jealousy, envy, and betrayal gathered quietly, sometimes from within your own circle. Smiles hid whispers. Laughter followed your struggle. But heaven allowed this only to reveal hearts. Exposure precedes elevation. A shaking is coming, and with it, clarity that cannot be undone. Revelation will surface within family, friendships, and close connections. It may shock you, but it will also cleanse your path. Masks will fall. What pretended to support you will be revealed for what it truly was. Do not fear this. Purification prepares you for what comes next. The delay was never denial, it was protection with purpose. Silence was preparation, not absence. Now the sound rising in your spirit is release. Archangel Michael stands ready, not hesitant, not uncertain, but aligned with timing that cannot be missed. Heaven has watched you in places no one else saw. Late nights, quiet breakdowns, questions you never voiced aloud. You wondered if your name was remembered, if prayers were heard. Even then, Archangel Michael was stationed near you, holding back forces that tried to end your story early. You are still here because purpose outlasts pressure. What was meant to crush you instead refined you. What delayed you strengthened you. And now, as this continues to unfold, you are not waiting anymore, you are witnessing alignment move into manifestation. Stay present. The story is still opening. You did not see the arrows flying in the spirit realm, but they were real, and heaven intercepted every one of them. You did not hear the laughter spoken behind closed doors, the quiet wishes for your downfall, but nothing escaped heaven's hearing. What listened in silence is now responding with authority. The word has already gone out. A surprise is moving toward you, carrying restoration with purpose. You are no longer standing in a season of delay. You have stepped into a season of unfolding, where what was hidden begins to surface. Understand this clearly, because order matters before arrival. Before the gift becomes visible, truth must rise. And yes, beloved, it will come from close proximity. Do not be startled when what was buried begins to emerge. It may be rooted in family. It may be connected to someone you trusted deeply. It may even involve the one you prayed for most. This revelation is not meant to harm you. It is designed to free you. Archangel Michael says, "Better a sharp wound of truth than the slow poison of lies." There may be a brief sting, but immediately after, chains will loosen. You will feel a sudden lift, a shift in the atmosphere around you. The heaviness you carried will release, and clarity will replace confusion. You will recognize this as God removing what was unworthy so that what is holy can finally rest in your hands. Do not misinterpret the shaking as destruction, because shaking is how false structures fall. Anything built on deception cannot remain standing. That includes foundations in your life that were never aligned with truth. When they collapse, you will still be standing, because you were built on something solid. Your destiny is not fragile. It is carved in stone, not written in dust. Even if false voices attempt to erase you, they cannot undo what heaven has declared. Archangel Michael has spoken clearly. This child is marked. This child is chosen. This child will rise regardless of who resists. Resistance does not cancel calling. Opposition does not diminish destiny. When you rise, those who spoke against you will have no choice but to witness the truth. Pay attention now, because confirmation is near. Soon you will notice something unusual. A repeated number. A name that surfaces unexpectedly. A sound or moment that arrests your attention. Do not dismiss it. That will be your confirmation, a quiet assurance saying you are not alone and never were. When it appears, pause and remember this moment, because everything begins to shift afterward. What you are experiencing now is not coincidence, it is alignment pressing forward. Many walk away moments before recognition arrives. You are not doing that. You are remaining. And remaining keeps the door open when delivery arrives. Hear this truth, because it explains your entire journey. You are not ordinary. The struggles were not random. The betrayals were not accidents. The intensity of your battles reveals the weight of your calling. Empty vessels are not attacked. Treasure draws attention. That is why your storms were heavier and your nights darker, because your dawn is brighter. Archangel Michael says, the crown placed on this child's head will be heavier than any other. That weight required preparation. That calling attracted resistance. But today, the crown is being lowered into place. The mantle is being released. Endurance is meeting reward. The silence you walked through was not punishment, it was protection. God hid you deliberately, even from people you believed you needed. Their hands were not prepared to carry what was meant for you. Relationships broke, doors closed, faces turned away, and you questioned yourself. But the truth is deeper. You were being separated. Archangel Michael says, when a child is chosen, heaven must pull them out of the crowd so that no thief can touch the treasure being prepared. You were not rejected. You were preserved. That is why the road felt lonely and the waiting stretched long. What was coming required hiddenness before visibility. Now that hidden season is ending. The veil is lifting. You are stepping into clarity and recognition you never imagined. Those who mocked will witness your rise. Those who whispered will see vindication. Those who prayed quietly for you will rejoice and say heaven's hand was evident all along. You feel restless because movement has already begun. Your spirit senses the shift before your circumstances announce it. Heaven does not stir like this without intention. Something significant is approaching, and awareness is your preparation. Stay steady. The unfolding has started, and what is on the way carries weight, purpose, and restoration beyond what you expected. But beloved, listen closely now, because clarity always comes before completion. Before light fills every corner, shadow must be revealed. This is not punishment, it is precision. Someone close to you has worn a mask, appearing supportive while quietly resisting your rise. Do not be shocked when truth surfaces. Do not collapse when you finally see what your spirit sensed all along. Exposure is not cruelty. It is mercy clearing the path. Archangel Michael says, the exposure is not to hurt you, but to heal you. The mask must fall so you can walk freely into what is prepared. Yes, there will be a moment of sting. Your heart may tremble briefly. But almost immediately after, relief will rush in. You will feel lighter, steadier, stronger. A weight you did not realize you carried will drop away, and clarity will replace confusion. You will finally understand why timing waited for this exact moment. Hear this carefully, because the miracle is closer than you think. It is not forming. It has already left heaven's storehouse. Angels are carrying it now, and Archangel Michael is clearing the way before it. Remain alert. Remain open. The final tactic of opposition is distraction, hoping you step away just before recognition arrives. This word anchors you so nothing steals what is yours. Heaven is never late, only exact, and you are standing in your appointed hour. Take courage. Lift your head. Even if your knees shake, you are not standing alone. You are surrounded by witnesses, angels watching closely, ancestors cheering quietly, and the Spirit who already authored your victory. Your life is not a tragedy. It is a testimony being written in real time. Every pain you endured was preparation, not waste. Every rejection redirected you toward purpose. Every lonely night planted seeds that are now ready to bloom. The harvest coming carries joy deeper than you imagined. Archangel Michael declares, "This child shall laugh again. This child shall rise again. This child shall not be forgotten." These are not hopes. They are outcomes. Notice your heartbeat, because confirmation often arrives in the body before the mind. That quickened rhythm is recognition. You were never unseen, never overlooked, never abandoned. Even in the darkest hours, heaven's attention never shifted away from you. Every tear mattered. Each one became ink, writing your name into destiny's pages, and those pages are opening now. Archangel Michael says, the delay has ended. The release has begun. This is not poetry. This is decree. What heaven declares cannot be reversed. The word has been spoken. The promise is in motion. The season of silence has broken, and sound has returned to your story. Understand this truth without doubt: nothing you endured was random. Every betrayal revealed character. Every closed door refined direction. God observed who stayed when you were vulnerable and who vanished when it became inconvenient. And now the same God is lifting you visibly, unmistakably. This rise will not be hidden. It will be clear enough to silence doubt and undeniable enough to reveal divine favor. Archangel Michael declares, your name is being announced in places you have never walked. Your favor is being discussed in rooms you have not entered. Decisions are forming that include you without your presence. What is approaching is nearer than it appears. But hear the warning wrapped in wisdom, because preparation protects reward. Before the blessing fully manifests, the mask must fall. Someone near you pretended to care while harboring envy. Smiles concealed resistance. Words sounded supportive while intentions were not. The shaking will expose this, and when it does, clarity will replace confusion. Do not resist the exposure, receive the freedom it brings. You will breathe deeper. Rest more fully. Walk with a confidence that does not depend on approval. This is why the blessing waited. God would not place treasure into hands working against you. What stings briefly heals completely. Now listen carefully, because instruction matters at turning points. When exposure happens, do not cling to what was revealed. Do not chase what was never meant to walk forward with you. Release is necessary. Holding on delays what is ready. Letting go opens the door wide. Do not fear the empty space that follows release. God never removes without replacing. Absence makes room for abundance. What leaves creates capacity for what arrives. Archangel Michael says, better to walk alone in the truth than surrounded by liars in disguise. Stay steady now, because the door is opening. Truth has cleared the threshold. The path is unobstructed. What you have waited for is entering without resistance. And as this continues to unfold, you will recognize that every step, every delay, every tear, every test was aligning you for this exact moment. And beloved, You will not walk this path alone, because heaven has already surrounded you before you ever took the step. The hosts of heaven move with intention, and they are moving with you now. This is why your spirit feels alert, why your heart feels pulled forward. Prepare yourself, because the sign you asked for is approaching. In the days ahead, something will stand out, perhaps a number that keeps repeating, a name that appears again and again, a dream that feels sharper than your waking hours. Do not dismiss it. That moment will be heaven's fingerprint pressed firmly upon your life. When that sign appears, pause and respond with awareness. Acknowledge it. Speak your agreement clearly. Say, "I receive it." That response aligns your spirit with what is already moving toward your home. Winds are shifting direction. Currents that once resisted you are now carrying you forward. This is not chance. This is appointment meeting readiness. Understand where you are standing right now, because this is a crossing few recognize until it has passed. Threshold moments feel unstable because everything begins to move at once. The discomfort you sense is not collapse, it is construction. The ground is being broken so something stronger can be built. You prayed for change. You asked for breakthrough. What you are feeling now is the answer forming beneath your feet. Archangel Michael says, "The storm you see is not against you. It is for you." The storm loosens hardened ground, uproots what never belonged, and clears space for harvest. Do not flee from it. Stand steady. What feels intense now is making room for what will last longer than the struggle ever did. Look back and you will finally understand the delay without bitterness. It was never denial. It was preparation layered with protection. If the blessing had arrived earlier, it could have been mishandled or diminished. If truth had not surfaced, your treasure might have rested in the wrong hands. God guards what carries weight. That is why it was shielded until now. Now the season has shifted, and resistance has lost its authority. Angels are moving with precision. Doors are opening without strain. Chains are loosening that once felt immovable. What was locked is unlocking. What seemed unreachable is now within range. This is the turning you sensed before you could explain it. Remain alert, because closeness often brings final distraction. The miracle cannot be stopped, but focus can be tested. Confusion may whisper. Doubt may attempt one last interruption. Do not answer it. You did not endure this much to turn back at the edge of fulfillment. Archangel Michael stands guard and declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No voice raised against you will last. You are marked. You are shielded. You are advancing." Hold that word close, because it carries you through the final stretch into visible fulfillment. Pay attention to what is happening inside you right now. That stirring, that inner pull, that quiet trembling is not fear. It is recognition. Your spirit knows truth when it arrives. Soon the sign will appear clearly, and doubt will have nowhere to rest. The sign may arrive quietly, but it will be precise. A dream that lingers. A word that repeats. An encounter that feels out of place yet deeply familiar. These moments are not random. Heaven is guiding your steps deliberately now. Every detail carries meaning. Every moment holds weight. When the sign comes, respond without hesitation. Speak agreement. Say, I receive it. Your words matter. Heaven responds to belief expressed. When you echo what has already been spoken over you, movement accelerates. Distance collapses. Doors widen. This agreement between heaven and earth is powerful. When alignment is complete, resistance loses ground. Miracles do not struggle to arrive. They move naturally, carried by order, timing, and readiness. Hear this deeply, because it explains the pressure you feel now. You are standing in between what was and what is coming. This space feels narrow. Winds are strong. Shadows try to distract your focus. Yet the path itself is secure. Archangel Michael says, this bridge was built by heaven itself. The steps may tremble, but they will not break. You are crossing into fulfillment. That is why resistance increased. Pressure rises when arrival is near. Do not fear the shaking beneath your feet. It is not collapse. It is confirmation that movement is underway. You are not losing ground. You are gaining it. Remain present, because awareness protects what is arriving. Heaven does not rush, but it does not hesitate either. What unfolds next will bring understanding to every delay, every silence, every test that once confused you. You are closer than you have ever been, even if your eyes cannot yet see it clearly. Your spirit already knows. Heaven is walking with you step by step, clearing the path, steadying the ground, and guiding you forward as the promise moves from unseen to undeniable. The enemy always fights hardest when the promise is closest, and that resistance you feel is not defeat, it is confirmation. The intensity of the battle proves that something powerful is about to surface. Heaven does not waste seasons. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every quiet night you endured was shaping you for this exact hour. You believed you were forgotten, but you were being refined. You felt abandoned, but you were being prepared. Heaven was never silent. It was working carefully, precisely, and now that work is nearing completion. The cracks you see forming in your old life are not signs of collapse, they are signs of emergence. A shell only breaks when the life inside is ready to come forth. What looks like loss is actually transition. What feels like an ending is a beginning taking shape. Archangel Michael declares, this child's story is not ending in pain. It is beginning in power. The long midnight has passed, and dawn is rising steadily, even if your eyes are still adjusting to the light. But hear this with courage, because truth sometimes arrives sharp before it heals. In the coming days, something hidden will be revealed. It will not come from a stranger, but from someone close, a friend, a relative, perhaps even someone you trusted deeply. Their words or actions may shock you. Your heart may ache for a moment. But do not despair. God allows exposure not to wound you, but to release you. Once truth surfaces, the blockage dissolves, and the flow you have been waiting for moves freely again. Remember this: when it happens, pain is temporary, but freedom lasts. What is uncovered will explain delays you never understood. It will answer prayers you thought went unanswered. The truth will set you free because it clears space for what is holy to rest securely in your life. A sign is approaching, and it will be unmistakable to the attentive heart. It may come as a dream that lingers long after waking. It may appear as a number repeating across your path. It may be a name or phrase spoken again and again within a short span. Do not dismiss it as coincidence. That will be heaven's whisper reminding you that this moment was arranged and that you were guided here intentionally. When you see the sign, respond with clarity and faith. Speak out loud, "I receive it." Those words act like keys turning in long locked doors. Paths that resisted you will open. Confusion will give way to understanding. What once felt impossible will suddenly align. Faith spoken activates movement. Do not fear the future, even if questions try to crowd your thoughts. What if nothing changes? What if you are betrayed again? What if you fail? Heaven answers differently. What if you rise? What if the promise is true? What if this time is different? God has already signed it. Fear is a voice from the past trying to chain you to what no longer has authority. Your future is not written in fear. It is written in fire, and heaven's fire cannot be extinguished. Archangel Michael says, "The hand that tried to push you down will never touch you again. The voice that cursed you will fade into silence. The chain that bound you has broken completely. You are stepping into freedom, and nothing has the power to reverse what heaven has released." What you feel pressing on your spirit right now is not defeat, it is birth. Just as labor comes before life enters the world, you have been laboring in the unseen. The sleepless nights, the tears you wiped away alone, the exhaustion you carried quietly, these were contractions, not conclusions. Archangel Michael says, "This is not the breaking of your spirit. This is the birthing of your promise." What feels like pressure is preparation. What feels like breaking is building. The miracle you prayed for is closer than your own breath. Soon the struggle will loosen its grip, and you will hold what you once only hoped for. Look back and you will see how everything aligned even when it made no sense. Betrayals removed those who could not walk with you further. Closed doors protected you from places that would have drained you. Heaven's silence was not absence, it was strategy guiding you step by step. You are not late. You are not behind. You are precisely where you need to be. The very things you believed disqualified you have become proof that you were chosen. Archangel Michael declares that rejection was redirection, delay was protection, and release will be perfection. Yet remain discerning, because blessing attracts attention. When the promise manifests, not everyone will celebrate sincerely. Some will smile outwardly while resisting inwardly. Others may question the validity of what God has done. Do not fear them. Their words carry no authority. Heaven has already decided. Archangel Michael says, "The noise of the crowd cannot cancel the voice of heaven." A final confirmation is near, and it will pierce your awareness clearly. It may arrive through a repeated phrase, an unexpected encounter, or a moment that feels charged with meaning. Heaven often speaks softly, but to the awakened heart, those whispers are louder than thunder. When you recognize the sign, pause and acknowledge it. Say, I know this is you. I receive it. Faith spoken aloud accelerates what is already moving. Heaven responds to agreement. And beyond the shaking, joy waits for you. Not forced joy, not masked laughter, but genuine peace rising from within. You will wake without dread. You will breathe without heaviness. Anxiety will loosen its hold. The voices that accused you will fade. The battles that haunted you will quiet. Chains will lie broken behind you. Archangel Michael declares, this child shall rejoice again. This child shall walk in light again. This child shall not be forgotten.